Hi everybody, it's Coach Craig from Householder Integrated Training, and today I'm going to start a little series on home yoga. I think yoga is really super important for anybody that breathes to be able to do. Sometimes though, yoga can be kind of have some barriers to entry, especially for men, perceived as kind of a women's game. These small rooms with lots of people, it can be a little intimidating. And I think sometimes when you get into the motion of class, sometimes you don't really get the fundamentals. And so that's what I'm going to do today. I'm just going to kind of break it down piece by piece. This is something that I've kind of worked into my daily life, and I found it so good for my flexibility, my core strength, and just to give me some time to disconnect and to meditate. We all hear how good it is to meditate every day, and what I always think is, well, that's great, but where's the time? Well, if you get yourself in the habit of doing a little morning yoga routine, then you get your flexibility, a little bit of core work, get your heart rate moving in the morning, and certainly get a little time to meditate too. So the first thing I want to talk about is breathing. Breathing is it's almost a cliche with yoga, but you hear over and over again just how important the breath is, and I'm here to tell you that is 100% true. So breath is the most important thing we do regardless of the physical activity. So if it's weightlifting, jumping rope, running, yoga, breath is the most important thing. If you're not breathing, then your body can't learn, your body can't get better. So yogis, they like to do a specific type of breath called Ujjayi breath, and real easy what it is you're basically just going to take a really nice deep inhale through your nose and then make a Darth Vader sound out of your mouth. So, and let's just do that again. So take a really deep breath in your nose, Darth Vader sound. Now to do Ujjayi breath, what you're going to do is the exact same thing. You're going to make that same sound when you exhale, except we're going to seal the lips and we're going to take it back out the nose. So real deep breath in. And I don't know if you can hear that on camera, but I tried to make that same sound of moving air across the back of my throat when I breathe out. And what we want to do is the minute we start to do yoga, we want to start to do this breath. You want to take full deep inhales, full exhales, and try to maintain that breath throughout yoga. And a really good way to determine whether or not you're working too hard is whether or not you're able to maintain that breath. If you're not able to maintain that breath, then maybe you're pushing a little bit too hard. You need to back it off a little bit. So very first thing is the breath. So make sure that you get yourself breathing before you start. Now the second part I'm going to take you through today is called the Vinyasa, or this is kind of the reset that you'll do in between postures and in between poses in yoga. And this motion gets done over and over and over and over again. And it's really good. You'll see a lot of really nice physical parts in there. So you'll see parts of a push-up, a nice little back bend. And so first thing I'll do is I'll kind of take you through what the full movement looks like. And then I'll show you a couple regressions that you can do, so to make it a little bit easier if maybe you don't have that full plank on your push-up or something like that. So, all right, so we're going to start with Vinyasa. So the Vinyasa starts in a nice high plank position, push-up position. And what we're going to do is I'm going to keep my elbows in and corkscrew my hands down into the ground, and I'm going to lower only halfway. That's generally an exhale. I'm going to inhale, upward facing dog, and then I'm going to exhale back over into downward facing dog. And that in a nutshell is it. We're going to do that over and over again. So you come out of Sun A, and I'll show that that's kind of the next part, but we're gonna go through that over and over again. So I'm just going to do a few just so you can see it, and then we'll talk about it and break it down just a little bit. So all right, so let's talk about the components of that. So when we come into our high plank or our high push-up position, you really want to be firm through your core. You're going to keep your glutes engaged. And what a cue I think people miss a lot is to corkscrew your hands down into the mat. So hands are right underneath my shoulders, and I'm actually gonna think about twisting in just a little bit, and that's gonna engage my lats and really give me nice firm support for that high plank. And then when we lower, we're gonna lower only halfway, but it's very important when you lower as one unit. So I don't want my belly going lower than my back, so I wanna lower down all as one unit. Then when we get to upward dog, this is one that people sometimes make a mistake on too. We're gonna come down, we're gonna turn the feet over and drive the top of the feet down into the ground as I extend. Now my thighs are off the ground here, and I'll show some regressions for people that are maybe not able quite to maintain this position. And then we simply just drive back and curl over the toes into your downward facing dog. And what I'm doing is I'm, again, corkscrewing my hands into the ground. I'm pushing my hips up and back and maintaining just a little bit of tension in my thighs too, which will give me a nice stretch throughout my hamstrings and calves. All right, so let's talk regressions, just in case, maybe you're not quite there yet. You don't have that nice full push-up position. So what we'll do is we'll take it to a half push-up. So that's from the knee. And again, hands into the mat, corkscrewed down. I'm still making a nice solid plank position. So here's the full position, and here's the half position. Very similar. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lower down again, elbows in, and I'm gonna take my chest the whole way to the mat. I'm gonna do just a little bit of baby cobra. And then I'm gonna push back in the child's pose, curl my toes under, and press up into downward facing dog. So again, that one just a little bit sped up would be, I'm gonna lower the whole way down and tap the chest, little mini back bend, chest down, in the child's pose, curl the toes, press up into downward facing dog. So it doesn't matter, really which way you do it. What matters is that you continue to breathe through that. Most of the time when you're doing Vinyasa, flow yoga, you're gonna do one breath per motion. So try to keep it to one breath per motion. And so you'll see, and maybe just practice the Vinyasa part of it just a few times. So maybe run through, maybe your morning stretch starts out that you just run through what I just ran through 10 or 15 times a morning. Again, small changes, make big effects when we do them every day. So we'll work a little bit later in the series. We'll go into some sun A's, some sun B's, again, showing the movement and then breaking it down a little bit so that you can take this into home. So I hope you enjoyed. Get out there and get mobile.